Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. What's up everyone? My name is Reza. Today I will explain you several things about refrigeration and air conditioning. I hope you enjoy this video, and so here we go. In the world of refrigeration and air conditioning, we must know a very fundamental chart, namely the psychrometric chart. Psychrometric chart is a chart that can be used to determine the characteristic of the air in a certain area. There are 7 parameters in psychrometric chart, including dry bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature, dew point temperature, moisture content, relative humidity, enthalpy, and the last one is specific volume. Now, let's discuss it one by one. Start from dry bulb temperature. So we can define this parameter as simple the temperature captured by a standard thermometer or room thermometer. This parameter is also called the ambient temperature. Now let's move on to wet bulb temperature. This parameter is defined as the temperature captured by thermometer, but the thermometer sensor must be covered by a damp cloth. Wet bulb temperature always has a temperature that lower or equal to dry bulb temperature. Now we enter the next parameter, which is dew point temperature. This parameter is defined as the temperature point at which water vapor in the air will be condensed. In other words, the water vapor that contained in the air will turn into liquid water if there is a lower temperature in a certain area. For example, if we have a cold water in the glass, the surface of the glass will be wet because the water vapor around the glass will be condensed. One thing that you need to know, if the dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature values are equal, it can be confirmed that the dew point temperature is at the same temperature as dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature. Now, moisture content. This parameter is the ratio between the mass of water vapor in gram to the mass of dry air in kilogram. In simple words, this parameter describes how much the amount of the water vapor contained in the air in mass. Now, move on to the 5th parameter, which is relative humidity. This parameter tells us how much water vapor in the air compared to how much it can hold at that temperature. It is shown as a percent. For example, a relative humidity of 50% means the air is holding 1/2 of the water vapor it can hold. How much that 50% will be present in moisture content. To make it easier to imagine, here is an example. If we have 25 Celsius at dry bulb temperature is here, and we have 50% at relative humidity, so we can make sure the point is here, and now we can determine the moisture content just by drag this point to the right, and we got 10 gram per kilograms moisture content. Now the question is how much the capability of the air can hold the water vapor at 100%. We just need to calculate the value that we had before at 50% of relative humidity, which is 10 gram per kilogram, multiplied by 2, so we got 20 gram per kilogram. Or to make sure our calculation is correct, we can determine it from a psychrometric chart again. And so we have 25 Celsius at dry bulb temperature again, and we have 100% at relative humidity, and the point is here. So we just need to do the same as before. Drag the point to the right and we got 20 gram per kilograms. The correlation between temperature, moisture content, and relative humidity is that the higher the temperature, the more moisture content can be held, and relative humidity will decrease. To make it easier to understand, now a half full glass of water, and pay attention. If we can assume that the glass is the temperature, the water is the moisture content, and the water level is relative humidity. So if we have a bigger glass, then I poured the water from the previous glass to the bigger glass. What is the water level now? Of course, that will lower the water level, and if I had a smaller glass, what would happen now? Of course, the water level will increase, and if the water level approach the maximum capacity, the water will spill out, and that's namely condensation process. Now the last two parameter is enthalpy and specific volume, but I'm sorry that I'm not going to discuss this parameter in details for this time, because these parameters are really rare to be applied. So now we're going to the next topic. We're going to discuss about air handling unit. Air handling unit is a system used to control parameters we had discussed earlier. The most commonly controlled parameters are temperature, and then relative humidity and moisture content. But air handling unit also can be used to control the volume, quality, and flow direction of the air in the room or building. There are several common components in Indonesia. The first is damper, and then the second is filter, and then cooling coil, and the last one is static pressure fan. For other components such as heating coil, ultraviolet light, and HEPA filter are also available to customize the air handling unit according to your needs. Now we're gonna talk about air conditioning formulation in air handling unit. There are 3 air conditioning formulation in the air handling unit system. The first is full fresh air, the second is full return air, and the last one is mixing air. Here is the schematic diagram of full fresh air formulation. Full fresh air formulation is applied in hospital, pharmacy, etc. Now let's move on to return air formulation. This is the schematic diagram of full return air formulation. This formulation is applied in storage sheds, server room, and other rooms that only have a few people in them. And now this is the mixing air formulation. This formulation is most widely used for industrial buildings and commercial buildings such as offices, malls, hotels, etc. The type of air handling unit. There are 2 types of air handling unit. The first one is the AHU system or direct expansion system, and the last is water chiller system. The difference between the two types is that the DX system is applied to a small capacity while the water chiller system is applied to a larger capacity or building. And for the water chiller system, the condenser is cooled by water through the cooling tower, while the DX system only requires a fan to cool the condenser. And now let's move on to the new topic. Here we have VRV or VRF. VRV or VRF stands for Variable Refrigerant Volume or Variable Refrigerant Flow, which is the system can control the amount of refrigerant that enters the indoor unit. The system is equipped with an inverter in the compressor, which can adjust the compressor work based on the load in the room. So the energy efficiency will be higher than any other air conditioning system. VRV or VRF also only requires one outdoor to accommodate up to 64 indoor units. This innovation was first developed by Daikin in 1982 and made the term VRV an official trademark of Daikin. Meanwhile, other companies use the term VRF. There are three types of VRV or VRF. The first one is cooling system, heat pump system, and recovery system. The difference between the three types is the cooling system only has the ability to cool the room, while the heat pump system can do cooling or heating but not at the same time. And for the heat recovery system, it has the ability to cool or heat multiple rooms at the same time. Now we have the comparison between conventional system and VRV system applied to air handling unit. So you can analyze the difference by yourself just by pausing this video. Maybe that's all from me. I hope this video can help increase your knowledge about refrigeration and air conditioning. And thank you very much for watching this video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.